This is an overview of the quiz that was in class today. This is Monday, September 11th, 2023. So we had 25 centigrams of lead. We wanted to change to cubic millimeters. Notice that centigrams measure mass. Cubic millimeters measure volume. In order to relate mass to volume or volume to mass, we're going to need to use the density, which is given to us over here. Notice it's given in grams per cubic centimeter. So we will need to change our centigrams into grams, since that is what is given to us in the density definition that we have. So we take our 25 centigrams. I'll put 25.0 because what it said is 3 significant digits. We're going to change centigrams to grams so that we can use the conversion. So we'll put centigrams here, we'll put grams here. Then we'd have to look at our things list, which tells us the relationships, and these relationships need to become a part of your body of knowledge, but right now we can see that one thing is 100 centithings, so 1 gram is 100 centigrams. Centigrams have now canceled, and our unit is grams, so we're able to use this conversion factor. We'll use kind of upside down to put grams on the bottom. We'll put cm cubes on the top. Remember cc, cm cubed, same thing. So this says that 11.3 goes with grams and 1 goes with cubic centimeter. Now grams have canceled, and the unit that we have in play at the time is cubic centimeters. We need to change it to cubic millimeters. So we're going to get rid of cubic centimeters. Put it down here so it cancels. And on the top, you could put millimeters cubed here if you know the relationship. I'm going to assume that we do not and just put meters cubed. And the reason for that is meters is on our things list. So we have plain meters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So we'd put 1 with the bigger thing, which is a cubic meter. And since this is cubic, we have 100 centimeters in a meter, but it's 100, it's a cube, so it's like this. And so we have 100 centimeters here, and 100 centimeters in this direction, and 100 centimeters here. So you multiply the 3 of them together, and you get 1,000,000. Okay, then we've canceled cubic centimeters. We want to get cubic meters into cubic millimeters. So we're going to put cubic meters here, millimeters cubed here. Cubic meters are bigger than cubic millimeters, so put 1 here. And now this, in this same cube picture, instead of 100 centimeters on the side, we have 1,000 millimeters. So it's the same logic. You have 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. So that would be 1,000,000,000. Okay, now we're ready to do the math. And to do the math, you multiply everything across the top and divide by everything that's on the bottom. So I'm going to take 25. I'm going to multiply by 1,000,000,000. Remember, it's 1, and then hit the EXP key down here at the bottom, or EE key if you're using your phone, to the 9th. Do not type in times 10. And then we see what that equals. That equals 2.5 times 10 to the 10th power. You can see it right here. Now we divide by all of the numbers that are on the bottom. So divide by 100, divided by 11.3, divide by 1,000,000. And that's it. So we get 22. Well, you can see what the number is there, but we have to round it off to 3 significant digits because this number only has 3 significant digits, and so does that one. These numbers have infinite significant digits because they are definitions. All right, so we're going to have 22.1. And since it's that's 1 is followed by a 2, you just leave the 1 as it is. If this 2 had been a 5 or more, it would have been 22.2. We would have rounded up. All right, and the unit is cubic millimeters. All right, that was question number 1. Question number 2. You write down what you're given. So you got 50 nanograms per liter. You want to change nanograms to micrograms. So you know what nanograms are going to go here. You could put micrograms here, but again, you probably don't know the relationship between micrograms and nanograms. So I'd go with what you do know because it's on the things list. So a gram is 1,000,000,000 nanograms. 1 gram, one thing, 1,000,000,000 nanothings. Okay, so 1 times 10 to the 9th. Okay, then We need to get rid of grams, go to milligrams, or excuse me, micrograms. And 1 gram is 1,000,000,000 micrograms. So now nanograms cancel, grams cancel. We have micrograms on top, and that's what you want. We need to get rid of liters. So liters are going to go on top now because these are on the bottom, and kiloliters can go on the bottom. This is a base unit, so we don't have to do what we did here, is go to a base unit. We're already just looking to get rid of a base unit. You already had a base unit here. So relationship, one of these is 1,000 of those. Again, we know that because on the things list it says that a kilothing is 1,000 things, so a kiloliter is 1,000 liters. Now we're ready to do the math. And make sure I didn't make a mistake, so I'm 50 nanograms per liter. Nanograms cancel, we got grams, grams 1 to 1,000,000,000. And then we have 1,000,000 micrograms per gram. Looks good. 1,000 liters, 1 kiloliter. So what I noticed is that this is 6 and that's 3 zeros. So that's 9 zeros, which cancels this out. So you can simplify if you want to, and the answer is just going to be 50. But 50 needs to have 3 significant digits because that has 3 significant digits. So that's our answer, 50 micrograms per kiloliter. Okay, third question. We have, oh, I didn't mention liters cancel right there. Okay, the third question, you got 45 centigrams, you're going to change to kilograms per cubic decimeter, centigrams per milliliter. So 45 centigrams per milliliter. We're going to change centigrams to kilograms first. You could do milliliters first, so I'm going to do the top first. So I'll put centigrams here. I'm going to go to the base unit grams. Once again, you could go straight to kilograms, but then you have to know this relationship between centigrams and kilograms. So I'm just going to go to grams. One of those is 100 of these. Okay, then we're going to move grams down here and go to kilograms. Kilograms are bigger than grams, and this is a common place for people to make a mistake. But you want to go one with the bigger thing, and kilograms are bigger than grams. So 1 is 1,000. A lot of times I see 1,000 kilograms per gram, so don't do that. Okay, so nanograms cancel, grams cancel. I have kilograms over milliliters right now. So I'm going to change milliliters to liters. And I know that 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. I wanted to get rid of milliliters, so I had to go on top. Now I need to get rid of liters. And this is a little bit confusing perhaps, because liters are a unit of volume. Cubic decimeter is a unit of volume, but this is a volume that's usually used for measuring solids. It's a length and a width and a height kind of volume. And a liter is just a volume like a milliliter, liters. It's the same thing as a milliliter is the same thing as 1 cubic centimeter. So you might remember the day in class that I poured a liter full of water into a little square box that was a cubic decimeter, and all the water from the flask fit into the box. That day we learned that a liter and a cubic decimeter were the same thing. So 1 is 1. So that cancels. And the only reason to put this in is so you can see the unit conversion. So it keeps things neat. And now, actually at that point we're finished because we wanted cubic decimeters on the bottom, and that's what we have, so we don't need this step. Then you do all your math, and I can see that this and this will cancel. So really it's just 45 divided by 100, which is 0.45, and that would be kilograms over cubic decimeters. Okay, so that was the end of that quiz. I'm going to go ahead and work the other one out too, in case you had the other one and you want to look at it. There's another version. So question number 1 on this quiz had centigrams of gold to cubic millimeters. So we put centigrams of gold, and there were 25 of those. And we want to go to cubic millimeters. So I'm going to get rid of centigrams. Same kind of thing we had in the other quiz. You have to change centigrams to grams. So centigrams here, grams here. The reason for that is we need to change to the unit to match the unit of density that we have. We were given the density in grams per cubic centimeter. Again, this is mass, this is volume, so you need to use density to make the change. So one of these is 100 of those. On the bottom of the next step, you need grams, get rid of it. So centigrams go away, you need to get rid of grams right here. and cubic centimeters on the top. The numbers are 1 cubic centimeter is 19.3 grams. Then we want to go to cubic millimeters, so you're going to have cubic centimeters here. And I'm going to go to just the base unit. If you could put millimeters cubed here if you know the relationship. But if you don't, you should know this one. It's 1, and that's a million. Again, it's cubic, so it's length times width times height. And if you were watching the first part of this video, you know it's 100 times 100 times 100. And then we want to get to cubic millimeters. So it'll be mm cubed here, and m cubed here, because we want to cancel that out. One of these is a billion of those. All right, so now we're going to do our math. We have 25 times everything across the top. The only other number is 1 exp 9. And remember how we use the exp key down at the bottom of the calculator. Put it up here so you can see it. And that's equal to 2.5 times 10 to the 10th. We're going to divide that by every number we see on the bottom. So divide it by 100, and divide by 19.3, divide it by 1 times 10 to the 6th. That equals 12.95. Okay, so 12.95336. Let's run through that math again, just to make sure I didn't do it incorrectly. So I'm going to have 25. I'm going to do this on the side. So 25 times a billion divided by 100 divided by 19.3 divided by 1 million. Yep, 12.9533. It's a big, long number. But the answer can only have 3 significant figures. So 13.0. So 1, 2, 3. But this 5 means this 9 has to go up to 10. If you make that go 10, then that carries a 1 over there and you get 13.0 cubic millimeters. All right, next answer, or next question. You have 50 centigrams, 50.0 centigrams per milliliter. Okay, we want to change the micrograms on top. We want to change the deciliters on the bottom. So I would say, well, let's go with grams down here and go with, I'll put centigrams down here, I'm sorry, because centigrams are here, and then grams up here. So 1 of those, 100 of those. Then grams here, micrograms here. 1 of those is a million of these. And I'm getting these numbers from my base unit, from the thing sheet, going to a base unit. One thing is 100 centithings. One thing is a million micro things. Now we need to get rid of milliliters. Where's it going to go? Put it on top. Liters on the bottom. That's the base unit. So 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. Again, off of the things list. Now we need to get rid of liters. So milliliters canceled. Centigrams are canceled here, grams canceled there. Milliliters cancel here. Now liters need to cancel, and deciliters is what we want to have. So 1 liter, 10 deciliters. Again, off of the things list. All right, so now we'll multiply across the top and divide everything that's on the bottom. So I'm going to have 50 multiplied by a million multiplied by 100. No, by 1,000. And across the top, I get 5 times 10 to the 10th. Now I can divide by 100 and divide by 10. Divided by 100 divided by 10 equals, it looks like the answer is 50 million. I don't know if you can see it, there's a little comma right there on this calculator, so 50 million. So if it's 50 million, we have a problem because 50 million only has 1 significant figure, but this number has 3 significant figures. So we need to make 50 million turn into 3 significant figures, and you can do that by using scientific notation. 5.00 would be 3 significant figures, and move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5.00 times 10 to the 7th. Units would be micrograms per deciliter, because those are the ones that haven't canceled. Last one, 45 grams per centiliter. You want to change that to cubic decigrams per cubic meter. So we'll do the numerator first. Just what I tend to do first is the top part. So don't have to do that. You could do the bottom first if you wanted to. So grams go here and cancel. and we have 10 decigrams as 1 gram. Now we have decigrams, so we change grams straight to decigrams. Now we need to get centiliters into cubic meters. So we need to get rid of centiliters. I would probably do that. Centiliters cancel. 1 liter is 100 centiliters. Then I want to get into my length-based volume units, for length, width, height, and that's going to be some kind of meter unit. So I'm going to go get rid of liters, and since I remember that all the water from my 1 liter flask fit into my 1 cubic decimeter, that's how I'm going to make the conversion to cubic decimeters. Now I've got it in a length, width, height kind of volume unit. Liters have canceled. I need to get rid of decimeters cubed, put it here, and then cubic meters on the bottom. Now the relationship here would be the cubic meters bigger, so one of those, and then this, how many decimeters are in a meter? Well, your things list says that there's one thing is 10 decithings, but these are cubic meters, so it would be 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. So now we don't have any numbers on the bottom to divide by, so really it's just 45 times 10 times 100 times 1,000, or 45 times 1,000 times 1,000, or 45 million. How many significant figures are in 45 million? It would be 2, because there's no decimal. And this number has 2 in it, so you don't have to worry. This number over here has 2 in it, so you don't need to worry about changing it into scientific notation. Just leave it like that. And the answer is decigrams over cubic meter. Those are the units that did not cancel. Remember, cubic decimeters cancel. All right, there's an overview of the 2 quizzes. It was quick, but if you always can stop the video and replay part of it, so I'm hoping that helped. All right, that's it. Thank you.